A judge just ordered a man to stay 100 yards away from his own wife. Not a stranger. Not some random dispute. His wife, the mother of his 5-year-old son. And according to the documents now sitting in a Los Angeles courtroom, the reason isn't just a marriage falling apart, it's something much darker. She says he threatened to kill her. She says he told her exactly how. And she says it wasn't the first time things turned violent between them. This is a couple you've probably seen on your screen before, 2 reality TV names most people would never expect to end up here. But paperwork filed this week paints a picture that goes far beyond typical divorce drama. Restraining orders, allegations of years of abuse, a custody battle that's just getting started. Here's what's actually in the filing, and what both sides are saying. The names are Brittany Cartwright and Jax Taylor. If those don't ring a bell right away, you've probably still seen their faces. They spent years in front of cameras on Vanderpump Rules, one of reality TV's messiest and most watched shows. Before moving on to a spin-off called The Valley, viewers watched them fall in love, get married in 2019, and build a life together, including welcoming their son Cruz, who's now 5 years old. But what played out on screen was apparently only part of the story. Brittany filed for divorce back in 2024, and since then, things have escalated in ways that go well beyond the usual celebrity split. This past Thursday, she took a serious legal step, filing for a domestic violence temporary restraining order against Jax in Los Angeles Superior Court. The judge didn't hesitate. The order was granted, legally requiring Jax to keep 100 yards of distance from Brittany at all times. She also asked the court for something bigger, sole custody of their son. That request, at least for now, was denied. The judge wants a full hearing before making that call. So what actually pushed things to this point? According to Brittany's own declaration filed with the court, the answer goes back years. In her declaration, Brittany doesn't describe a single blow-up or one bad night. She describes something she says built for nearly a decade. She writes that Jax subjected her to what she calls coercive control, financial abuse, emotional and psychological abuse, gaslighting, and she claims physical violence. The specific allegation at the center of the filing is chilling. Brittany states that Jax threatened to kill her, telling her, in her words, that he would gut her like a fish. She also alleges that on top of the threat, he physically attacked her, and that she was left with injuries as a result. She claims he threw furniture at her during the altercation. It's important to be clear about what this is and isn't. These are allegations laid out in a legal filing, Brittany's account, under her own declaration to the court. Jax has not been convicted of anything, and as of this filing he hadn't publicly responded. But allegations like these, made under penalty of perjury in a restraining order request, are serious enough that a judge looked at them and granted the order the same day. And according to Brittany, the threats and the violence were only part of what she says she endured. What makes Brittany's filing stand out isn't just the allegation of one violent incident, it's the picture she paints of a relationship where control allegedly seeped into nearly everything. She describes a dynamic where she says she had less and less power over her own life the longer the marriage went on. Financial abuse, as she frames it, wasn't about money being tight. It was about money being used as leverage, a way, she claims, to keep her dependent and compliant. Emotional and psychological abuse, in her account, showed up as a slow erosion of her confidence and sense of reality, the kind of gaslighting that makes a person start questioning their own memory of events. This is part of why the case has drawn so much attention beyond the usual reality TV headlines. It's not framed as a messy breakup with hurt feelings on both sides. It's framed, in Brittany's own words to the court, as a pattern that she says escalated over years before she finally reached a breaking point and went to a judge. And according to her filing, that pattern showed up in very tangible ways too, not just in arguments but in her property, her phone, and even her wedding ring. Brittany's declaration gets specific here, and the details are the kind that are hard to dismiss as exaggeration. She claims that over time, Jax broke 3 of her iPhones. Not 1, 3. She also alleges he destroyed an iPad belonging to her along with other property in their home. Then there's the wedding ring. According to Brittany, it was valued at $70,000, and she says Jax took it from their home without her permission. When she asked for it back, she claims he refused. For a lot of people watching this case, that detail lands harder than almost anything else. A wedding ring is supposed to symbolize a commitment. Here, according to her account, it became something closer to a possession being held over her. Taken together, the broken devices, the destroyed property, the ring that hasn't been returned, Brittany's filing suggests a pattern where physical objects became part of the conflict, not just words or actions. It's the kind of detail that makes the broader allegations feel less abstract. But according to Brittany, the phones weren't just something Jax allegedly broke. She claims he also used them to get somewhere much more personal, into her private conversations. According to Brittany's filing, Jax's alleged control extended past their home and into her devices. She claims he gained access to her iPhone, read through her private messages, and got into her Instagram account, all, she says, without her consent. It gets more specific from there. Brittany alleges that Jax deleted messages directly off her phone, meaning conversations she'd had, potentially ones relevant to their conflict or their son, simply disappeared without her knowledge or approval. That's the kind of allegation that, if true, isn't just an invasion of privacy. It's a way of controlling the narrative itself, deciding what evidence exists and what doesn't. Then there's Our Family Wizard, a platform specifically designed to help separated or divorced parents communicate about their kids in a documented, neutral way. Brittany claims Jax took private messages from that platform, meant only for coordinating parenting decisions, and posted them publicly. If accurate, that's not just a breach of trust between two parents. It potentially undermines the entire point of a tool built to keep co-parenting civil and contained. Piece by piece, the picture Brittany describes isn't just about a marriage that fell apart. It's about, in her words, someone who allegedly wouldn't let go of control, even after she tried to create distance. And according to her filing, that control showed up in the way he allegedly spoke to her too. Brittany's declaration also addresses how Jax allegedly spoke to her, not just what he allegedly did. She claims he directed a string of degrading names at her over the course of their relationship, targeting her appearance, her financial situation, and her character. And according to her filing, this wasn't confined to private arguments behind closed doors. She alleges it happened in public too, and, perhaps most troubling, in front of their young son. That detail matters in a case like this. Courts often weigh not just whether alleged abuse occurred, but whether a child was exposed to it, because that can factor directly into custody decisions. If Brittany's account is accurate, it means Cruz, at just 5 years old, may have witnessed conflict that went well beyond typical parental disagreements. Brittany frames this pattern of name-calling as part of the same broader dynamic she describes throughout her filing, not isolated outbursts, but a consistent way, she claims, that Jax treated her both when they were alone and when others were present. And according to Brittany, control didn't stop at words. She also alleges Jax used something else entirely to keep pressure on her: money. According to Brittany's filing, financial pressure became another tool in the conflict, this time tied directly to child and spousal support. She claims Jax used the topic of support payments not just as a legal or financial matter, but as a way to intimidate and demean her. Specifically, Brittany alleges that Jax told her she had essentially been living off his money throughout their marriage, and that now the roles would reverse, with her being the one required to pay him. Whether or not that framing reflects the actual financial reality between them, Brittany characterizes it as less about the money itself and more about using it to make her feel small, dependent, and now suddenly on the hook. It's a detail that ties back to the broader pattern she describes in her declaration, control that, according to her, didn't just show up physically or verbally, but followed her into the most practical parts of separating a life together: the money, the custody, the day-to-day logistics of ending a marriage. With all of these allegations now part of the court record, the case moves toward its next real test, an actual hearing, where a judge will have to weigh what's been claimed against what can be shown. So where does this actually leave things? Right now, a temporary restraining order is in place, and Jax is legally required to stay 100 yards from Brittany. But temporary is the key word. This isn't a final ruling, it's a starting point. A full court hearing still needs to happen before a judge decides whether to extend that order, and whether Brittany's request for sole custody of Cruz will be granted or denied. As of this filing, Jax hadn't publicly responded to any of the allegations. TMZ reached out to him for comment, and so far there's been no reply. That silence doesn't confirm or deny anything. It just means for now the court record only reflects one side of the story. What's clear is that this case has moved far past reality TV drama. It's now sitting in a courtroom, built on sworn declarations, and it'll be decided the way custody and abuse cases are decided, through evidence, testimony, and a judge weighing both sides. Whatever happens next, it's a reminder that the people we watch play out relationships on screen are still living real ones off it, with real consequences, real children caught in the middle, and real legal processes that don't move at the pace of a TV episode.